Caesar is home, were the words at the end of the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which was supposed to be the first movie in the prequel slash sequel trilogy or franchise, whatever this is supposed to be. I have no idea how many movies this is supposed. We're still supposed to see in this whatever franchise, pretty much. But the War for the Planet of the Apes was one of probably the most anticipated movie of the year for me, in regards to all the movies that were coming out this year. And we've only seen one trailer. We did a reaction to it. We've seen the first two movies, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, all within the last, what, 4 years? And usually when we get movies that were supposed to be prequels slash reboots of the already existing beloved franchise, for what Planet of the Apes is to some people who are much older than us, who grew up on the original movies and TV series, Rise and Dawn and War pretty much did an astounding job of not only doing justice to the originals, but also giving us something new, something fresh, and seeing apes for what they're supposed to be, like in real life, how they're supposed to look like, seeing them on the screen with today's technology, as opposed to the originals with makeup and costumes, which were very hard to work with. It was very hot in them. It was like people complained all the time. It was like CGI in this movie is nothing short of groundbreaking, in my opinion. Ever since the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So, with the War of the for the Planet of the Apes, we get sequel to the previous two movies, which is set 15 years after the second movie, after the first movie. But in my opinion, you don't really have to watch any of the movies to watch this one. I think this one can pretty much stand on its own. It tells a very coherent and very palpable story of just these apes who grew beyond their evolution, their species. They evolved much further than what is expected from them, and I don't know, the way the humans devolved and apes evolved, and the conflict between them is, I don't know, man. Just amazing to watch. Like this movie is so simple. Like the story is not complex. It's very simple. The visuals are amazing, but the camera work is also very simple. There isn't like, there are wide shots, there are in shots, but close-ups. So this entire story is pretty much almost a silent movie, and just being able to watch it and enjoy it, even though there isn't much talking for the most part, I think that's quite amazing piece of work on behalf of Matt Reeves or any director working today. What did you think?
You pretty much summed it up, yeah. The monologue, I almost fell asleep though, but not during the movie. The movie was good during the monologue, but he kind of went on there for a while, so I felt rude interrupting him. Even though, quite honestly, I did not understand half the things he said. You probably feel the same way.
I do feel the same way, because you usually say something at least, so it's like just talking about myself was very weird, dude.
Flashback to his early days of doing these.
Yeah.
You're looking at...
Forget about him.
What I'm looking forward to the most in a movie is usually the story. I want to see how the story fits. Yes, I like the character developments, but the story is very important to me. And this one nailed it. Characters, I mean, you pretty much know all the apes.
Even if you don't, like,
yeah, like you said,
you discover through the movie, you discover like these apes, they have background stories. There are people you don't really meet, like Koba, for example, who appears in these dreams that Caesar
But he was
does
there in the
have.
first
But
and the
yeah,
second
but
movie.
even if you didn't watch the previous two movies, you can still watch this movie and pretty much enjoy it because the story is very well told, and that's usually what you. Usually when I go see a movie, I think a lot of movies are ruined by expectations people set for the movies. So it's like, let's say Matt Reeves is doing the third installment of Planet of the Apes movie. Oh great, the last one he did was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, was pretty epic. The guy is set to do new Batman, you know, it's like, this guy knows his stuff, he knows how to make a movie. And so you watch one trailer and people expect to see this spectacle, but then you go and you see a movie and you see like this war-like state in this fantasy world that's set in the real world, and it doesn't really, I don't know, if you're expecting something great from it, you're probably
It's
not
not a
gonna get
blockbuster
it.
by
It's
any
not a blockbuster. Seriously,
definition.
this is a very serious movie. There is so many messages in this movie about human evolution, about who we are as a species, and how we treat others, among many other themes that are woven into this movie. So it's like, just watching these, I mean, literally we can go on and on about it, but in essence this is a movie that's worth seeing. We saw it in 3D, which was quite spectacular, even though we're not huge on 3D, but the times, the whatevers, and it was just, it happened that way. So what would you rate it?
23, 24? 23,
Yeah,
let's go
I'm going with the
23.
25 out of 30, man. This is pretty much, I mean, I could go up. It's like,
No, you went on for a while.
No, I mean, I can rate it more, I guess, but you know what, I'm gonna leave it at 25 out of 30, and we're gonna leave it for you at 24 out of 30, because seriously, if you haven't seen this movie, it's worth it. Not just the effects, but the story, the characters. There's some pretty cool stuff to see in this movie, and not just apes on horses. So yeah, that's it for us for right now. We're coming back in a few minutes, so join us then. Till next time, Beige Bros out.